This is me, Poonam Arora, trying to take over ad hoc to inaugurate this event on a different day than our usual schedule. We will be talking about food and aesthetics. I had prepared a few lines, but I'm not sure if this is the right sequence. But I want to say that we think of food only in the context of taste. But when we combine it with aesthetics, we combine all the other senses, uh, touch, taste, smell, vision. And when we combine all of these, the experience of having consumed food in good company, with good energy, with good taste, etc., we enhance all the other senses. There's a special term for this. It's called synesthesia. That means that we don't just taste food, we smell food, we touch food, we even hear food. So when we mix metaphors, the brain understands that this is a very, very high-powered kind of reception that it is getting. And so every sense is heightened because of the support of all the other senses. The term synesthesia actually is taken from poetry. Poets used to talk about, the smell of the red color or the taste of blue or things like that. So I'm going to introduce this concept of synesthesia. Let's keep this in mind because it is for this capacity of the brain that food is so important in our lives because it pulls on all the senses that we have and enhances all of these senses. So aesthetics is the understanding of the role of art. And even though food disappears, it is not an art form that we can collect or put away or buy or sell as an art form, but we experience it as an art form. So with that, I'll hand over. Thank you.
Can I request Colonel VD Singh to kindly play our vision document at the stage?
Okay, fine.
Sure. Transfer the control.
Yes, please.
If you don't transfer the control, it cannot be.
You have the control.
Thank you. No. Disabled. Screen sharing disabled.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Then it blink.
No audio. Can you kindly check, please?
Audio. Share some. Optimize for video. Focus settings.
In a World Vision document, we're a family bringing joy, happiness, prosperity in our lives and around by nurturing, encouraging, catalyzing, enabling 360-degree well-being in physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and economic dimensions. Our vision: abundance of joy, happiness, care, and prosperity for all. Our mission: we strive for alleviating pain, suffering, and poverty, encouraging unshackled free thoughts, enabling dignified jobs and livelihood, nurturing close family bonding, seeking joy and happiness in the impact caused. Our values: passion, work with passion and from heart. Our values: humility, learning attitude, mutual respect, and open to listening to others. Our values: integrity, sincere, honest, and ethical principles. Our values: empathy, understand and feel others as your own. Our values: humanity, have compassion, brotherhood, fellow feeling, and kindness. Our values: joy, work that brings joy and value, diversity and inclusion. Our character: trust, belief, faith, and confidence in self and in others, from where love and compassion emanate. Our character: virtue, high moral values, patience, consideration, trustworthiness, and forgiveness. Our character: transparency, honesty, openness, and not guarded. Thank you.
Thank you, Dada, for playing the video
Done.
smoothly without any glitch. We need to learn from you a lot how it's done so well. Uh,
Welcome.
Mohana, can we come back to you?
Yes, of course.
Once
Um,
again, once again. Before that, let me transfer the host feature to you. Yes, please, all yours.
as Poonam Didi has very appropriately started today's event, talking about uh, the various impact on all our five sensory organs that food has. It has been a very interesting take on food as such. And going on from that, we would request Shivani ji. Um, is our other participant ready already?
No, I think the
So
first.
Shivani ji,
The first person would be Amita. You have the program schedule in front of you.
I do, but then Amita does not seem to be online at this point of time.
So before that, that is what, as a filler, Poonam Didi helped us out. Now, whatever
Right.
before, you have to introduce also Amita Tai. So you just need this gap to do whatever you wish to do on the welcome and the keynote part.
Since we have got a little delayed, just asking Rajiva, what time is Amita Tai expected online?
So she had logged in exactly on her schedule, and at that particular time,
And
she had.
we have requested her 26 minutes from then.
So you
Right.
just carry on, and the moment she logs in, at that particular point, you can end yours, and you can start by introducing her, and carry on from there. That's it.
A little bit about XENA. We are a family of 9 Navratnas, as we like to call ourselves. 9 different entities with various functions, catering to whatever different individuals might want to pursue in whichever format. There are not for profit structures, and there are for profit structures. Everyone involved so far and would be getting involved in future would have some kind of platform to find his own calling. So that is, I don't think there are too many organizations that offer this kind of variety for every different kind of person with a different mindset. They would find some kind of platform on XENA in different formats. It is
Yeah, I
therefore
think.
very,
Sorry,
yes,
sorry,
I mean,
Mona. Just
that I have,
yeah.
yeah.
So we can with the formal thing we can start off, and because she is there, you can introduce her, and then we can continue from there. Our program form.
Yes, just let me.
You have to request. Amita Tai to switch on a video.
Yes, of course. Amita ji, if you could just go live on video while I introduce you.
Yeah,
Good evening to you.
good evening.
Right. Amita ji was born and raised in Mumbai, and she has been pretty much of a globetrotter. Uh, she is highly qualified, and she has been called upon to display the traditional Indian style world over 3 decades. We go straight on to your presentation, which I will help you screen share from my end. If you have any instructions for me, please feel free. Since you are unmuted, please let me know what you would like. I am moving on straight to your presentation, ma'am. A few words about yourself while I do that, please.
Okay, sure. Hi, everyone. And yeah, I've been introduced, so I don't need to say much more than that. So I can just launch into my presentation straight away. I just want to know how many of you were there for the last presentation that I did. I can see there are about 8 people here.
No,
It will
I
not be.
think there's just two input that I would like to give Thai. One,
Mhm,
uh, if you're relating to the previous time when you had given a sort of presentation, from
mhm.
that presentation only Colonel VD Singh is
Okay,
available.
okay,
Everyone else is the first timer.
okay,
And
great.
second, don't get discouraged and disappointed by the number of attendance, because we are deliberately archiving all these on YouTube's,
Mhm.
and YouTube is what we are trying to, I mean, let it reach to the right kind of people.
Okay, great. Great. So no, I just thought I didn't want to be repetitive, and so it's good that only one of you has been there before, but I don't think there's going to be much repetition, because I'm going to deal with a completely different aspect of dinner decor. Last time I dealt with the why of dinner decor. If you remember, Colonel PD Singh, last time I talked about the why of dinner decor. Today I'm going to, because the topic is food and aesthetics, I'm going to be looking at the how of dinner decor. Just straight away, let me just establish the connection between food and aesthetic. What is the connection? Do I really need to make a case for the fact that there is a connection? Maybe I can spell it out. Basically, aesthetics is the branch of philosophy that deals with the principles of beauty. And what is beauty? In a layman's terms, I think beauty is what appeals to our senses. Um, so now, can we make a case? Do I need to make a case for this connection between food and the senses? Do we just eat the food? Is it just our taste buds? Or is it all of our senses? The fact is that, yes, we actually eat with all of our senses, and food has to appeal to all of our senses. Just to give an example of each sense and how it has to appeal to each sense. Let's talk about the sense of hearing. In Chinese cuisine, there is a dish called singing rice. What is this singing rice? It's a crisp cake of murmura, actually, just murmura,
Okay.
which is made into a very crisp little cake, and they serve that, and then over that they pour a very hot sizzling gravy or a
Oh,
sauce,
okay.
and yeah, and the sound that it makes is, that's why it's called singing rice, and that sound is enticing, because when you hear that sound, you know, oh, wow, this thing is really crispy, and this thing is going to be really interesting to eat. So there you go. That's about your sense of hearing, and then there are so many other examples. When you eat, let's say you eat something, you eat crisps or you eat wafers. If it doesn't crunch in your mouth, it's off-putting, because this is not how it should be, right? So that's about the sound. Let's talk about the textures. The textures, you are put off if something that should be crispy is soggy, or if something is too lumpy or is too mushy. So that's about textures. Then you come to the sense of course, the sense of taste is the ultimate. But before that, you have the smells. There are smells that completely put you off. I mean, I remember when I was expecting my babies, certain smells that I otherwise loved would put me off. So it's very subjective, and then beauty is subjective, right? So that smells, and then you come to the sense of sight. Food has to look good. We all know that.
Correct.
We
Correct.
Maharashtrians have a real fetish about how our vegetables should look. Each vegetable should have its own place and distinct shape and color in a curry. Whether it's a dry sabji or a wet curry, it has to look good. They have to look whole. So, and each kind of cuisine will have those. You expect certain things. You expect a certain thing to look a certain way. So yes, sight is very important, and for that reason, we use garnishes, right? To me, so now I'm going to bring in, so that's your aesthetics of how aesthetics and food are connected. But what about dinner decor? Where does that come in? That to me, the immediate connection with food and with aesthetics and dinner decor is that dinner decor is a kind of garnish. You see it before you taste the food. And what is a garnish supposed to do? A garnish is supposed to entice you, to attract you to the food. And that's what dinner decor does. Before you ever put that food in your mouth, you first see it. You see that dinner table that is laid out nicely. Just as you see, I'm going to ask, is that Mohana who's going to start the presentation? Can I have?
Tai, she might be slightly delayed.
Mhm.
Uh, she's facing some problem, but don't
Mhm.
worry. You carry on.
Mhm.
As an emergency, I'm trying to take her help. You carry on with your thing.
Okay.
I'm just trying to help her out with that technical
Okay.
problem that she's facing.
Okay. So she can put up the slides as soon as she's ready.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can just
And
carry on with this interesting talk.
sure. So yeah, to me, dinner decor is the garnish before you put that food in your mouth. Just as you have other garnishes of curls of citrus, curls of a peel or vegetables cut in a certain way. The Thai art of decoration of food carving. That's all garnish that is supposed to entice you. And in the same way, I believe that dinner decor entices you. It draws you to the table. And once you're at the table, what it does is it keeps you there because it is so pleasant to look at. It keeps you there. And the longer you're sitting at the table, the more likely you are to take seconds and thirds, because otherwise, when you're in a buffet and you're just walking around and chatting and mingling, you take one plate full, you heap it up, and then you just finish it, and that's it. But dinner decor, when you have dinner decor, you sit around that table and you linger, you talk, you chat. You might be, you have a rest. I often find that foreigners, Europeans, Westerners, they will take breaks in their meal. So they don't want to be rushed. So if you try and push them with food, they say no, we are taking a rest, and they will have more, certainly, because they love our food, and they will have more, but you have to give them that kind of atmosphere, and that's what it does. So that's the garnish aspect of dinner decor, and that brings us to how do you make it attractive to your sense of sight? How do you make your dinner decor attractive to your sense of sight? So I'm going to go through some principles, and I'm hoping that we can have our slides. How are you doing, Rajiv? How are you doing on that? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Have I lost you?
No. I think I'm Shivani here. I think Rajiva is having a small little talk with my husband Venu, and I think आपका वो discussion हो रहा है regarding the PPT. But I love the way you are speaking. I mean, I'm in awe of you. Seriously, really in awe of you. Looking so beautiful, and it's amazing what you told us about the presentation, the part of the presentation that the food needs to be so good and all that. It's really amazing. So meanwhile they do it
Yeah.
up and all. But
yeah. But yeah, I mean, I would love to do it with the slides, because it will just be so much more effective. Each point that I will explain to you about how you make it attractive. Yeah. So let me just give you the points while I'm waiting. Let me just give you the points that have come to my mind. None of this is something I have studied. This is something that I have done instinctively and then kind of theorized and put down points and that sort of thing, and then thought that, oh yes, this must be, these are the things that are common to my centerpieces, that are common to my dinner decor, and so yes, they can be considered as principles. you know.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, but it's all kind of after the act. It is not, I've not studied design or anything of the sort. It's instinctive, completely instinctive. So yes, so then let me just tell you the points and see if you can visualize, you know, while we wait for the slides, and then I
Yeah,
can go through the slides very quickly and talk about those
absolutely,
key points.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So the first thing is, in my centerpieces, in my book, in fact, I should have brought the book. In my book, the centerpieces are all for a table of 18 or 20 people. It was because my husband was the ambassador in Bhutan, and that's where I wrote the book. So it's a table for 20 people, and it's an enormous canvas to do your dinner decor on. Um, so the so how do you make 20 people part of the same dining experience? How do you pull them together? How do you pull 20 people from disparate fields, people who may not know each other or just know each other a little bit? How do you pull them together? How do you hold them there? How do you keep them around that table? How do you get them to break the ice and talk and chat and enjoy the evening? So for that, I feel what you need to do is, what I used to do is, in the center of the table, bang in the center of the table, which I would call the fulcrum, I would have a certain arrangement. And then on both sides of that fulcrum, I would have several elements related to the particular theme that I was displaying. So, but it would all be mirror images. So if this is the fulcrum and here is my first element, here will be the same element on the other side. Then further to my right, I have another element from that theme. Further to my left, exactly like a mirror image, would be the same element from that theme. So in that way, it would go right to the end. Now, the thing is, dinner decor can just be candles and flowers. But what am I doing then? What am I bringing from myself to this dinner decor? Everyone does flowers and everyone can put candles on the table. So that's why my dinner decor used to be a little different. It would pertain very clearly to a certain theme, and the kind of interest that I used to try and generate among my guests is try to ask them to guess the theme of that day. So, you know, by looking at that dinner decor, could they instantly guess what theme I had put on the table on that day? It would usually be a festive theme or a seasonal theme, so it was not difficult to guess, but it would make them think a little. It would make them look more carefully at the elements that they were seeing in front of them, right? So this was a little kind of asides that I would have with the guests who were seated next to me. But so now when I talk about the fulcrum and the mirror images, you have this whole idea of symmetry. You know, there was symmetry on both sides. Of course, you have to guard against too much symmetry, because too much symmetry then brings in very rigid lines and it becomes stiff and not so kind of attractive to your guests. Yeah, so you guard against that. So the symmetry is very important for balance. The other reason symmetry has to be there is to make everyone around that table a part of that group, because then they are seeing exactly the same things on both sides of that fulcrum. You know, when they see exactly the same things on both sides of the fulcrum, they are able to talk about the same things. If I had 10 different elements, 10 completely different elements just lined up in the middle of the table, how would they have anything in common to talk about? You know, so everyone needs to be part of that experience, and therefore you try and create this mirror image. So that's symmetry and balance. That brings a balance. It also brings cohesion. It makes the group cohesive. Yeah. So that's one aspect. The other aspect is, of course, your sense of color and how do you bring about balance and harmony in the colors, right? So again, this is something, there's no theory to it. There's no great theory to it. But what I noticed after the act was that if I put in 8 colors on the table, how would I make them look attractive without them jarring and kind of looking completely, like a mess? How would I keep that from happening? So the idea, and you will see in the slides, if we get that PowerPoint working, you will see in the slides that where there are multiple colors, even 8 colors or 4 colors, how do you harmonize them? You harmonize them by repeating those same colors in the different elements on the table. So your runners, your napkins, your runners, your table mats, your flowers, your other little accessories, your lamps, your candles, they should all have those same colors in them. Then you create a scheme, a color scheme. Again, if you have different colors displayed all over the table, it's going to be one royal mess, right? So that's about color harmony. And we will see that hopefully very soon. How's it going? Can someone tell me?
Yes. Amazing thing. Absolutely fine. Ready to go with your PPT.
Oh,
So-
good. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Good to hear. Good to hear. So let's have the first slide if it's ready.
Right. Rajiva, controls, please.
Who's doing it? Is it Shivani doing it? Okay. So can you hear me, everyone? Just say yes if you can hear me.
Yes.
Can everyone hear me?
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So
Yes,
that is my book. Can we have the full screen, because this seems to be just a I need a full screen if possible, because otherwise the pictures are not going to be so clear. You know, this was also created as a PowerPoint. So why can't we just flash the slides one after the other? It doesn't have to be in this PDF format. It can be a PowerPoint.
Ma'am, this file which has been sent, I'm Colonel VD Singh, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, PDF has been sent, only PDF.
Oh, I see.
Yes, and PDF has its own, ma'am, it has got its own contrast ratio. Because of that,
That's okay.
full screen cannot come on this, because it is something like which is the other way around, where width
Oh,
is more than the
okay. Okay, I can enlarge it on my, okay, but I don't think you can enlarge it. If you are
Yes,
looking
ma'am.
at it, can you enlarge it on your screens? Can each of you enlarge it on your screens?
I'll see, ma'am.
Okay, so anyway, that's the book. That's the book. And just see if each of you can enlarge it on your own screens. I could do it. So I'm sure you can. Yeah. Can you do it on your screen, each one of you?
Yes.
Yeah, so just enlarge it with your hands, with your fingers.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can do that. So that's the book. And yeah, it's called Dinner Decor, a how-to guide for fabulous centerpieces. It is a step-by-step guidebook. Okay, let's show me the next slide. Right, this I talked about garnishes and how even dinner decor is a kind of garnish. Just as garnishes attract you to the food, so can dinner decor do the same thing. Let's go to the next one. Yes, more garnishes. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, so talking about symmetry, now you can see what I mean by symmetry. Just tell me if you can see it, all of you. Can you see that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. So now do you see what I mean by symmetry? This is my centerpiece for Diwali. And you know that we make rangolis for Diwali. And I'm someone who breaks a lot of rules. So the rangoli on the floor has come onto the table because there is no rule that says you can't do it on a table, right? But you can see the absolute symmetry. That basket of flowers is the fulcrum in this. And then on exact mirror images right down the table. So that's about symmetry and how you create. It is an aesthetically pleasing experience, but it also gives everyone around the table a chance to see the exact same elements that the others are seeing, right? Let's go to the next one. Yes, now here we are going to come to color harmony. I talked about using multiple colors. In this, there aren't multiple colors. There's green and white and pink. This was my centerpiece for Eid. And if you enlarge it, you will see how I have used the sevaiya, the vermicelli. Can you see the vermicelli that I have? It's in the foreground. Yes,
Like a
I've stood
fountain,
it up.
like a fountain
Yes,
you use.
exactly. I've stood it up. Anyway, we will refer to that later. That's why I pointed it out to you here. But here, what I'm trying to show you is how you create a balance in color. So I have pink, green, and white. See how I have repeated the elements, the colors in different elements. I have used pink in the flowers, pink in the napkins. Then I've used green in the runners and green candles, and then white tablecloth and white flowers. So that's your color, how you harmonize colors and how you create a color scheme. Let's go to the next one. All right, so here you see multiple colors. This is my Easter. This is my Easter table. And as you can see, there are eggs over there. They are like a bouquet of flowers. In the right after that second candle, you see a bouquet of eggs. So I've used them in a different way. I'm pretty quirky and quite crazy. I like to do things a little, try to be different, but at the same time aesthetically pleasing. You cannot be quirky and have something that doesn't please you aesthetically, doesn't please your senses. But look at the use of color. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 colors. There's orange, there's yellow, there's blue, and there's violet. Why are they in harmony? Do you think they're in harmony or not? What do you think? Is it a harmonious scheme?
They are.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, again, I theorized after the act. I found that, okay, I have repeated blue in the runners and the candles. I've repeated yellow in the candles and the tablecloth. Then I've got orange, which is from the same family as yellow. So that harmonizes. And then I've got violet, which is from the same family as blue. So that is in harmony. So that's how there is some harmony in this color scheme. But if I had gone and used pink somewhere and green somewhere, and then have all these 4 colors, it would have been a complete mess. Yeah. So also notice in the foreground how I have put a duck there, but instead of having, it's a new life. New life doesn't have to be just eggs. It can also be spears of asparagus, because that's when asparagus grows in the spring. So I have, again, put my own interpretation on that. New life is not only from animals and birds, but new life is also from the earth, from the soil. So I have that element in the foreground, the duck and a bunch of asparagus over there. Okay. So do you get this thing about color harmony? Just say yes or no.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's go to the next slide. Now we come to the point about cohesion. How do you create a theme? If I just showed you this picture, you will not be able to tell me what theme this is, because that's just one element. All right. I'm going to show you the next picture and then bring you back to all the 4 pictures that I'm going to show you now. See the next. So this is a napkin with a ring of, the top of a corn plant as used as a napkin ring. Okay, so go to the next slide and then I'm going to ask you to come back. Right, do you see that? Now that's the top of the corn plant that I have put on the table. Let's have a look at the next slide. Yes, now what do you see? You see 2 ears of corn with the husk pulled back and arranged. And can we see the next slide? Oh, yes. So these are mushrooms just picked up from the soil and brought and put into a tray. All right. Can we see the next slide? Right. Now, in this picture, you notice that there are 3 levels at which that grass is put. Okay. We were in Bhutan, and if anyone has been to Bhutan, you would have seen the terraced fields in Bhutan. Who has seen the terraced fields in Bhutan? The paddy in the terraced fields. Has anyone been to Bhutan?
Not us.
Okay. So you have terrace farming and the paddy growing. So, and going back, you have the corn and you have the corn napkin ring and you have the corn tassel and you have the 2 big ears of corn. What season does this, what theme do you think this is? What theme do you think it is? It's a season.
It's the season, yes, definitely.
What season is it? Can anyone guess?
Harvesting?
Not really, because that you can see the paddy is green still.
Okay.
What
Spring.
season do you think? The corn is there. There are mushrooms growing.
The season.
Yes, exactly. The rainy season. Rainy season. So only if I have 4 or 5 or at least 2 elements that pertain to the same theme, can I create a theme? Can I create a cohesive theme? If I just have one piece of corn or one plate of mushrooms, that is not going to create a theme. There's no cohesiveness to that. Yeah, so that's how you create a theme. Is that clear to you?
Absolutely.
Right. So you need to have 3, at least 2 elements that pertain to a certain theme for your guests to understand what is this theme that has been depicted for us. Yeah. So that's about cohesion. Now, again, talking about cohesion, again, the mirror image, remember that. So everyone, all your guests get to see the same thing and can talk about the same thing and feel part of the same group of people at that table. And then you can have it jumpstarts conversations, it triggers off interesting conversations. That's the whole purpose of dinner decor, right? So let's go to the next slide now that we've talked about cohesion. Let's go back to the next slide. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, here you are. Okay, I'm going to give you another example of how you create a theme. Okay, have a look at this slide. Now, can you show us the next slide?
Oh, wow.
Can you see that?
Mango.
Yes. Can you go to the next slide?
That's beautifully created with that mango leaf.
Yeah, this is my napkin ring for that day.
Amazing.
Can you show us the next slide?
Very nice.
Now look here, I put this slide because I wanted you to see the runner. Can you see the background, the runner on the table? What do you see there?
It's got those leaves.
Umbis, what we call umbis, and mango leaves. Yeah, the patterns of mango leaves and umbis, right? So now you have seen 4 or 5 elements. I want you to tell me what theme I was trying to depict here. My centerpiece, what theme was it?
It's very bright. Some kind of a sunny or
No, it's simpler than that. It's simpler than that. And more obvious.
fruity,
It's the
festive mango season is on.
mango mania.
Mango mania.
Yeah, in my book, I call it mango mania.
Oh,
So
very
that was
nice.
my theme. Yeah,
That's
that was my theme. You know, and this was for the month of probably May or June. I can't remember. Maybe May or June. So that was mango mania. All right. So that's about theme creation. That's about mood. That's about cohesiveness, creating a cohesive theme. Let's go to the next slide.
okay.
This is a close-up of the same runner on the table. Yeah, okay. So we are done with that. Let's go to the next slide.
Beautiful.
Now we come to, do you know something called chromotherapy? Do you know there is something called chromotherapy where you use colors to heal? Yes, the use of color to heal. See, the thing is, you may or may not believe in chromotherapy, but the fact is, and we all know this, that colors affect us, right? Some colors just put us in a great mood, and some really sap us and enervate us and make us just lose energy. So that's because we have our own associations with colors. So now I'm going to talk about how you use color to create mood or to create an ambience, right? So and the moment you see certain colors, you associate it with something. If you see these colors, what season would you associate it with?
Spring.
Would it be spring? Look at the colors carefully.
Fall.
Orange.
Huh?
It's with orange all over.
Yes, orange, brown.
Orange.
Yeah.
Autumn?
Yes, exactly. Autumn. This is the power of color. You know, this is the power of color, our associations. Of course, our associations differ from person to person. Okay. If I live in a place where there is never any great fall colors, I'm not going to be able to guess what season a person is trying to depict. Let's go to the next one.
Wow.
Now, if I showed you this, what would you associate it with, these colors?
Christmas.
Correct, correct. So you see the power of color? I'm not showing you anything else. I'm just showing you a combination of colors. Let's go to the next one.
This is lovely. Valentine theme.
Now, so you have different colors for different seasons. You have different colors for different festivals. But you can also create an ambience in the summer. You can create an ambience that is cool by using these colors, where I have used white, silver gray, and red, bright red, very small accents of bright red, because it was high summer and I just wanted people to feel cool. You can create these effects by using color. Do you see that? Whereas on a winter day, on a winter evening, this would not make you feel nice and warm. This would make you feel even colder. So I use this in the summer, this kind of color scheme. This is the power of color. Okay, do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. Would this make you feel nice and cool, this color scheme?
Sure.
Okay. So let's move on from the use of color. Let's move on to something I've called grabbing eyeballs. Dare to be different. Dare to be different. Dare to do something different differently. Do something different and do it differently. So let's see our next slide. What is this? Does anyone know what this is?
I can see the top of the kalash upside down, but I
Yes.
can't tell
Yes, but do you know of a festival called Gudi Padwa in Maharashtra?
That's what I just said. It looks
Gudi
like the Gudi
Padwa.
Padwa.
Exactly. Now, Gudi is usually put out in a window or a balcony on a long stick. But I wanted to create a small centerpiece. Now, okay, the other transition I'm making here is that now I no longer am the wife of an ambassador. I no longer have a table for 18 people. I just have a small table for 6 people. It's a round table, but that doesn't stop me from creating my dinner decor, because I have a Facebook page called Dinner Decor, and I have about 600 followers on that. So they expect me to get something up on that page, to post something every month. So every month I continue till today. I continue to post centerpieces. But as you can see now, as you can see now, I no longer have a fulcrum and a mirror image going right down the middle of the table. I have one single element in my dinner decor. And that one single element has to be eye-catching, right? It has to be eye-catching. So my goodie has moved from the window. It has moved from the window or the balcony. It has moved onto my table, and it's on a small short stick. Okay, so this is, I just try to do things a little differently. And why not? If on Gudi Padwa day, I have people coming for dinner and I have this as my centerpiece, it is quite meaningful, and it will generate conversation around that. Even if it's a buffet, it will generate conversation about that centerpiece, right? So your centerpiece or your dinner decor has to be eye-catching, but I also try and make it meaningful. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Again, here, just trying to be different. Usually people will place wreaths down flat on the table. Okay, they lie them down flat. Look how I have used them. I've used them standing up, and I've created a tripod of three wreaths, tied them together, and that is my my centerpiece. It's almost like an installation. Yeah, it's an installation centerpiece. Yeah, so I have stood up the wreaths instead of lying them flat on the table, right? So dare to be different and grab eyeballs. Next slide. Here, in Maharashtra, what we do is we, can you tell me what theme this would be? Again, it's for my small table.
Dandiya theme.
Yes, when is that done?
ये सितंबर में आता है दुर्गा पूजा के दौरान.
Yeah, what do you call that? When do they do this?
Navratri.
गरबा.
Correct. When do you do it? Navratri, exactly.
नवरात्रि, बिल्कुल नवरात्रि.
So this was my Navratri centerpiece for my little table. It's a single element, but you don't need anything else when it is so evocative. Can you see you have the dandiyas? You could immediately guess the theme. That means I have been successful. I have used bandhani. Can you see the bandhani, the fabric on the table? Because that is like Rajasthan, Gujarat, etc. Then I have the dandiyas. And in the center, maybe you cannot relate that to Navratri, but in Maharashtra, we grow this for 9 nights. For 9 days, we plant this in soil, and we grow this. And on the 9th day, you know, if that thing is growing lush and green, it means the Devi is happy with you. That's what it means. And then you let it dry, and you cut that dried grass or whatever those are, stalks, and you keep them in the house in your puja ghar. But I thought it adds greenery to the table also, and it has meaning. It is significant. Now, the other thing you will notice in the transition I have made from the big table to the small table, my single element centerpieces, is that these are highly economical. They are all no flower centerpieces. because these are for modest homes, modest people, and flowers are expensive in India, anywhere for that matter. Fresh flowers are expensive. So all of these centerpieces that you see, which are for my small table in my small apartment, are with no flowers, highly economical. All right, let's look at the next one. Aha, now have a look at this. In that thing that you see in the middle is vermicelli. Would you believe it? It is sevaya. Has anyone seen that? Can we see the next slide? And there's a close-up of that. Okay, no, this is the top view. This, what theme do you think this is? This is also for my little table. What theme is it?
I want to hazard and say it might be Eid because there's
Correct.
a moon and a star.
Correct, correct. Yes, yes, it's the moon and star. But if you saw my earlier Eid decor, that huge big table, you see the difference, how the big table and the small table now. This is a single element and no flowers, but that thing in the middle is pretty amazing. That thing in the middle is sevaya. It's a disc of sevaya that was given to me by a friend, and I made it stand up in the middle. And you can see it's like peekaboo. You can see the lights through it. Can we see the next slide, which will show you the tea lights on the other side of it can also be seen. Yeah, have a look. Can you see those little lights on the other side of it? From the other moon. So that's sevaya. Yeah, so this is my transition from a big house and a big table to a little house and a little table. Okay, but always trying to be meaningful, trying to be economical, no flowers, small space, no flowers, economical, and meaningful at the same time. Let's go to the next one. Can we go to the next one? There. Now you see how I've used the sevaya on that big table and how I used it on the small table. That's why I brought it back to show you. Do you see that? Yeah. Okay. Next slide. This was also Eid. This was also Eid. Now you see this one. This is again a single element, very economical, no fresh flowers, but also creating the same mood of what season would you call this? What season?
Summer.
Correct, summer. And again, very economical because those fruits can be eaten. There are no flowers. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah, okay. Next one, just another view of the same thing. Next one. This was on the big table. This was the same season, summer, ocean, beach, the same season, but on a big table. And you saw how I transformed it for I changed it for a small table, creating the same mood and the same effect, but more economically and yet meaningfully to create the same mood. All right, let's go to the next slide. Now we come to another one element centerpiece for which season, which festival?
Easter. This is Easter.
Easter, exactly, Easter. This is for Easter. One element, very economical, very easy, very simple, space saving, but meaningful. Okay, let's go to the next one and we will see how I have embellished it, made it look a little better. Oh, this is the big table for 20 people where I had Easter. But of course, I can't do this now. This was in the past, and you have seen what I have done, what I do now on a much smaller scale. Okay, go on, next one. Now we come to the highlight. Just to tell you, oh, there's a slide before this. Is there a slide before this that we have missed or not? Can we just go to the previous slide? No, okay. No, we haven't missed it. That's fine. Now I'm going to just, if you have not already gauged what is this method in my madness, shall I break it down for you? The method in my madness. What is my method? Can anyone tell me before I explain it? Can anyone tell me? Would anyone like to contribute?
So to use the basics, whatever we have all around us.
Okay, I use that. But at the same time, remember, it has to be meaningful. So what is this you are seeing in front of you?
It looks like a charkha.
It's a charkha. What
Yes.
what time of year do you think I would use this centerpiece?
Okay, this is during Independence.
Independence Day.
Correct. Because
I
you
was
know, the charkha is like a metaphor for independence, whether political or economic. So that's the charkha. And what I have done is dressed it with what colors have I used? I've dressed it with what colors?
Yeah, orange, white, and green.
Exactly. I'll show you the next slide. And this is the method in my madness that I try and pick one or two artifacts that are highly meaningful and then create my centerpiece around them. That's my method, which you might have guessed or you might not have guessed, but I'm breaking it down for you. So let's see the next slide and you will see how this charkha looks on the table, actually on my big table for 20 people or 18 people. Look, this is what I had done. It was my fulcrum. This was my fulcrum. It was right in the center. And then I had two more charkhas as mirror images. Okay. So that was my Independence Day theme. Let's go to how I have adapted this for my small apartment and my small table. Let's take a look. Next slide. Oh no, this is in the wrong place. Okay, here, look. This is the charkha on my little table, one small charkha. Those charkhas were big. This is a little one that I found somewhere in Khadi Bhandar or something. And that's how I have used it. Can we see more of this? The next two slides will show you different angles of this same centerpiece. There. Yeah, and then of course you create your napkin rings and your napkins that match with the color scheme and create your centerpiece. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, I think that's the last slide. Can we scroll up? Scroll up. Yeah. Is that the end?
That was the last slide.
Good. So now we can go back to, I can talk to you now. So that was the presentation. Thank you very much. And let's just talk about it. Can we go back to the normal screen?
Number 3.
Shut this down.
You want to see the slide?
Three.
This one.
Yeah. Can we shut it down?
Okay, shut it down. Fine.
Right. So we are back. I hope that made sense to you.
That was lovely. Thank you.
Good.
It is amazing.
That's good. Good to hear. I hope it made sense and you got a sense of my method, basically. Yeah. So thank you very much for listening. And that's it from me. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Very nice, very nice. Too good. Too good.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm going to take your leave, and do carry on. I have stuff to do. Thank you very much for listening.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye. Take care.
Care, all of you.
Thank you so much for your time, ma'am. It was a wonderful presentation.
You're welcome. Who's this? Who's talking?
Mohana. Mohana, yeah.
Oh, I see. Hi. Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure. So,
Thank you so much,
Colonel VD Singh, was it repetitive for you?
Yes, ma'am, very informative. I watched.
Sorry.
I watched throughout.
I can't hear.
Ma'am,
Yeah, I can't hear you. Was it repetitive for you?
a little bit, but
Good.
It's very good.
Thank you. Thank you for listening. Again. Take care.
Right. I think we move over to the next part of our event today with Shivani Singh having her presentation. So, yes, over to Shivani.
Okay. Hi, good evening, everybody. So, Shivani here. And I've just tried to do a little bit of, my own way of cooking. So I'll just show you the recipe. So just in a minute or two. Stop sharing. Yeah.
स्ट्रीम इज पास्ट
चलो फिर से इसको You're studying. I'm an educator. I teach the kindergarten babies. So I am also a big foodie. Yes, and today, like, we're all talking about the food and the taste buds and all. So आज का हमारा topic ही इस किस्म का है. तो I thought, why not, make something which is healthy, which is tasty, which is yummy, which is snacky, and which with our taste buds, it's going to enhance. The taste.
No sound is audible.
And the taste buds are going to get satiated. Yes.
No sound is audible.
Shivani,
keeping
sound is not audible.
Okay, just 1 second. Sound इसको बंद. Things are our mind and basically मेरा थोड़ा सा पैशन है भी इन चीज़ों में मुझे खाना बनाना एक्चुअली खाना बनाना जो नॉर्मल वाला खाना बनाना है नॉट दैट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ डिफरेंस समथिंग कुछ हट के कोई चीज़ बनाना अब समटाइम्स लिटिल डिफरेंट केक्स हो गए या कुछ अलग किस्म के नॉन वेज डिशेस हो गई जो कि आई कीप ट्राइंग यू नो इन माई लिटिल बिट ऑफ फ्री टाइम दैट आई गेट. सो हियर आई वाज थिंकिंग कि जीना फैमिली के लिए और आप सब लोगों के लिए मैं आज सेमोलिना वेजिटेबल पैनकेक बनाऊंगी. सो सेमोलिना इज़ suji that we all know of, and pancake and with lots of vegetables, because vegetables khana generally I think children and even some adults also, I mean vegetables itna nahi kha pate hain, to hum in cheezon mein incorporate kiya ja sakta hai. The kind of pancakes ho gaye ya kuch aur parathon mein ya any kind of a thing that you think of. So like they say what we are, and these days health is very important to take care of, because in the pandemic times this is the only thing, you know, if you're healthy and if you're fine, I think you've won the battle all the time. So we need to be healthy, we need to be wise. So healthy, wealthy and wise, and to remain healthy one should have healthy things. So keeping that in mind, I have used a lot of veggies in this semolina pancake. So that's why I have called it semolina veggie pancake. And इसके साथ साथ मैं एक और चीज़ मैं बताना चाहूँगी आप सभी को, that the music at the background has been made, has been created, this lounge music has been created by my husband, Kalvidi Singh, and of course he's also a very active member of the XENA members of this thing XENA world. So तो वेनु ने ये बहुत सुंदर सा एक म्यूज़िक मुझे बना के दिया है फॉर माई सो कुकिंग के लिए, स्पेशली द रेसिपी के बैकग्राउंड में जो चलेगा उसके लिए. एंड दिस इज़ नोन एज ओड टू कर्मा. This music piece, the lounge music that he has created, it's called Ode to Karma. So this particular music I'll be, you know, playing at the backdrop. It will be going on, and you will be watching my cooking. So I have used basic ingredients and very few things that we need for cooking. और हमारा बच्चों के लिए एक बहुत अच्छा ये एक स्नैक चीज़ है, एंड इट इज़ वेरी फिलिंग ऑल्सो. हेल्थी के साथ साथ इट इज़ वेरी फिलिंग, एंड इट इज़ बहुत इजीली बन सकता है. तो मैंने एक ऐसी रेसिपी ली है, झटपट किस्म की रेसिपी ली है जो कि बहुत आराम से हम घर में बना सकते हैं, जिसके लिए कि हमें कोई बहुत एग्जॉटिक हमें इंग्रेडिएंट्स की ज़रूरत नहीं है, जिनके लिए कि हमें कोई बहुत ज़्यादा बाहर जाने की भी ज़रूरत नहीं है. सो बिकॉज दीज डेज एज इट इज़ वी आर नॉट गोइंग आउट टू मच, यू नो, वी आर नॉट having too many things from outside. So whatever veggies and all that, you know, I can think of, I could think of, so I have used all those veggies in my recipe. And I hope that you all also like this recipe of mine, which is semolina vegetable pancake. Yes. और बहुत सिंपल तरीके से मैंने बनाया है, अपनी रसोई में मैं आपको लेके जाऊंगी. सो मैंने आपको बहुत ही सिंपल तरीके से मैंने आपको ये रेसिपी बताई है और बनाया है. एंड आई होप दैट यू ऑल लाइक दिस रेसिपी ऑफ माइन, एंड आई होप दैट यू ऑल एन्जॉय watching my recipe. And I wish I could send that, बनाते समय मैं उसका अरोमा आपके पास भेज सकती, because it apart from tasting very nice and very good, it smells also very good. कहते हैं ना कि खाने में जब तक एक खुशबू ना आए तब तक के खाने का मज़ा ही नहीं आता है. And of course the presentation. So these two are very important thing that we need to follow. One is when you're making something, you should feel happy making it, you should feel good making it, and you should enjoy making it, because if you enjoy making it, only then you will be able to make it nicely. You can give it 100%, and then the dish comes out to be very good and very tasty, and taste भी बहुत अच्छा होता है. तो ये आप थोड़ा बहुत अपने आप भी एक्सपेरिमेंट आप लोग भी घर में थोड़ा बहुत करते ही रहते होंगे. सो मेरा भी एक छोटी सी कोशिश है, मैंने एक ये एक्सपेरिमेंट किया है. And I hope you all like it and enjoy the recipe, enjoy the lovely music, the lounge music which is playing behind. So with this, let's go. What are we waiting for? Let me take you to my choti si rasoi, and let's see how the semolina vegetable pancakes are going to come up. So chali, so let's go to our rasoi now. Hello people, hello everybody. जानबूझ के मैंने इतना
वेलकम
लंबा
टू माय
रखा।
लिटिल किचन एंड आज मैं सेमोलिना का पैनकेक बनाना बताऊंगी and it is very healthy and nutritious because I'll be putting a lot of veggies. So all these are ingredients. I've taken some carrots, grated carrots लिए हैं ये वाले मैंने, और मैंने कैप्सिकम, टोमेटोज एंड बीन्स ये सब छोटी छोटी काट के रख ली है। ये आपके कैप्सिकम एंड दीज आर द टोमेटोज। और यहाँ मैंने लिया है 1 कटोरी सूजी, सेमोलिना जिसे हम कहते हैं, और कर्ड लिया मैंने आधे से कटोरी से ज़्यादा, थोड़ी सी राई ली है, सरसों, और ये मैंने धनिया पत्ती, उसी में हरी मिर्च है, लिटिल सॉल्ट टू टेस्ट एंड कड़ी पत्ता। सो ये कड़ी पत्ता फ्रेश होना चाहिए, सो ज़्यादा अच्छा टेस्ट आता है। अब मैं क्या करूँगी, एक बोल सूजी का जो है वो एक बोल में आप डाल लीजिए और उसमें हम मिलाएंगे थोड़ा सा कर्ड। इस सूजी में आप क्या मिलाएंगे, कर्ड। सो आधे कटोरी से थोड़ा ज़्यादा है, फर्मेंट काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग हो जाएगा इसमें। सो ये मैंने इसमें मिला दिया है। इसको आपको अच्छे से मिक्स करके कम से कम आधा घंटा रखना पड़ेगा फॉर इट टू बिकम लिटिल नाइस एंड स्मूथ, एंड वो थोड़ी कंसिस्टेंसी अच्छी हो जाए, हल्की सी फर्मेंट वाली कंसिस्टेंसी आ जाए, जैसे कि डोसा या उत्तपम हम बनाते हैं उस हिसाब से। तो ये मैंने इसको मिक्स कर लिया है। चाहें थोड़ा सा पानी ज़रूर डालें क्योंकि बहुत थिक हो गया है, तो मैं थोड़ा सा इसमें पानी डालूँगी और तब जाके इसकी कंसिस्टेंसी थोड़ी सी बेटर हो जाएगी। और ये हमें कम से कम नहीं तो 20-1 मिनट तो छोड़ के रखना ही पड़ेगा। और यहाँ देखिए थोड़ा सा मैं इसमें पानी मिला रही हूँ, और पानी मिलाने के बाद इसकी जो कंसिस्टेंसी बन गई है वो थोड़ा सा बैटर प्रॉपर आपका अच्छे तरीके से मिक्स हो जाएगा। दिस सेमोलिना उसके साथ जो है ये हमारा मिक्स हो जाएगा। एंड आफ्टर दिस ये इस किस्म से आपकी कंसिस्टेंसी बन गई। इसको वी आर गोइंग टू कीप इट फॉर हाफ एन आवर। सो हाफ एन आवर रखने के बाद ये देखिए ये इस तरह से हमारी कंसिस्टेंसी बन जाती है। और अब हम इसमें अब काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें मिलाएंगे जो हमने ऑलरेडी काटी हैं, सब्जियां और बाकी की सारी चीज़ें। तो नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू ऐड ऑन ऑल दी वेजिटेबल्स। सो हियर गोज़ दी कैरेट्स। ये हमने जो कैरेट्स हमने ग्रेट करे थे वो हमने डाले हैं थोड़े से। ये आपके ऊपर है कि आप कितना डालें। सो मैंने थोड़े से डाले हैं। एंड देन आई पुट सम बीन्स ऑल्सो। वो बीन्स भी थोड़े से बीन्स जितना मेरे को डालना था उतना ही मैंने डाला हुआ है। ज़रूरी नहीं कि आप सारा कुछ डाल दें, आपको जितना सब्जियां डालनी हैं बच्चों के लिए ज़रूरत होती है तो उसके हिसाब से आप डालिए। नाउ आई एम पुटिंग सम कैप्सिकम, बिल्कुल कट बारीक वाला कैप्सिकम कट करके। और इसमें बहुत ज़रूरी है कि आप वेजिटेबल्स जो हैं बारीक काटें, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। एंड नाउ आई एम ऑल्सो गोइंग टू पुट ऑल दीज टमेटोज इनसाइड, तो वो टेस्ट टमेटोज का भी बड़ा अच्छा सा आ जाता है। सो ये सारी चीज़ें हमने इसमें डाल दी हैं और अब इसको हम चलाएंगे, मिक्स करेंगे इसको। सो आई एम गोइंग टू पुट लिटिल मोर बिकॉज आई वांट दैट इट शुड बी लिटिल मोर हेल्दियर। सो नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू मिक्स इट। एंड मिक्स करने के बाद अच्छे तरीके से इसमें मैं थोड़ा सा धनिया डालूँगी, और ये गया हमारा धनिया, और इसी में मैंने डाला हुआ है थोड़ी सी मिर्चें। सो ये पूरा मिक्स कर दिया है मैंने इसमें बैटर। मुझे थोड़ा सा पानी मिलाना पड़ेगा इसके अंदर क्योंकि ये बहुत ज़्यादा थिक है अभी भी बैटर। सो ये मैंने थोड़ा पानी मिला के इसका बैटर इस कंसिस्टेंसी में लेके आ गई हूँ, सो दैट एटलीस्ट बनाने में मुश्किल ना आए। सो आप इसको बहुत अच्छे तरीके से मिक्स करके रखेंगे बिकॉज दैट इज़ द थिंग, मिक्सिंग इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। और इसके बाद थोड़ा सा स्वादानुसार नमक, जितना आप नमक खाते हैं उसके हिसाब से आप इसमें अबाउट ½ टीस्पून मैंने इसमें डाला है, और आप चख के भी देख सकते हैं कि नमक ठीक है कि नहीं। मीनवाइल आप गैस में एक पैन ले लीजिए और उसको गैस को ऑन करके बिल्कुल कम पे फ्लेम रखिए एंड पुट सम ऑयल इन दैट। आई हैव यूज क्लैरिफाइड बटर, दैट इज़ घी। सो ये ऐसा मैंने पैन लिया। हालांकि मैं एक जल्दी के लिए मैं एक तवा भी यूज़ करूँगी, बट अभी मैंने आपको इसमें दिखाया है। सो घी मैंने लिया है और ये राई स्प्लैटर करेंगे इसके अंदर और कड़ी पत्ता भी डालेंगे। सो लेट्स पुट सम घी फर्स्ट। तो अब इसमें जो है थोड़ा सा घी जब हम डाल देंगे, हल्का सा फ्लेम आप बढ़ा सकते हैं सो दैट यू नो वो राई को जब हम डालते हैं तो वो स्प्लैटर करने के लिए चाहिए हमें। तो ये हम इसको थोड़ा सा मैंने घी डाल दिया है एंड अच्छे से इसको आप इसको फैला सकते हैं। आफ्टर दिस व्हाट यू कैन डू इज़ यू हैव टू पुट सम राई, और जब राई हम इसमें डालेंगे तो वो बहुत अच्छे से स्प्लैटर होएगी। तो अब हम इसके अंदर थोड़ी सी राई डालते हैं। आई वॉज वेटिंग कि भाई थोड़ा घी गर्म हो जाए। तो ये गई हमारी राई, और राई डालने के बाद वो हल्का सा स्प्लैटर होगा स्प्लैटर होने के बाद ये गया हमारा कड़ी पत्ता, और ये कड़ी पत्ता फ्रेश हो तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, अगर फ्रेश आपके पास नहीं है तो आप उसमें नॉर्मल ड्राइड वाले भी डाल सकते हैं। एंड आई पुट अ पिंच ऑफ सोडा इन द बैटर। सो ये इस तरीके का मैंने बना दिया है। ये आपका बैटर पूरा तैयार है डालने के लिए इसके अंदर। अब ये देखो स्प्लैटर हो गया है और अच्छा सा इसका फ्लेवर, बहुत अच्छी सी खुशबू आ रही है। नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू पुट दिस इन द पैन, और ये मैं इसको हाफ डाल दूंगी, मतलब पैन में आप करना है तो थोड़ा, मैंने 3 पोर्शंस में बनाया है, तो आप बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ा इसको, बिकॉज टर्न करने में भी मुश्किल आती है, तो दैट इज़ वाई I have used little bit. So now here goes the batter into my pan, और इसको थोड़ा सा टाइम लगता है, और इसको थोड़ा सा आपको ढक के पकाना पड़ेगा, हल्का सा टाइम लेगा ये। इसमें साइड में आप इस तरह बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ा भी ना बनाएं और बहुत छोटा भी ना बनाएं, और इसको इस तरीके से आप जो पैन में डालने के बाद आप इसके साइड्स में थोड़ा सा ऑयल डाल के या ऊपर भी हल्का सा ऑयल डाल के इसको कवर कर सकते हैं, और कवर करके ये पकने में थोड़ा सा टाइम लेगा, तो इसको यू नीड टू कवर इट अप ऑल्सो। सो यू कैन सी, एज यू ऑल कैन सी, बहुत अच्छा सा ये दिख रहा है। और ये सूजी का जो ये सेमोलिना का जो पैनकेक काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग, वेजिटेबल पैनकेक, आई कॉल इट सेमोलिना वेजिटेबल पैनकेक। And this I'm going to cover it with this lid and let it cook on a very sim thing. Meanwhile मैंने क्या किया, मैंने एक अलग से एक ये तवा भी ले लिया है, और उसमें भी मैं यही सेम कार्रवाई करने वाली हूँ। So I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of or teaspoon of ऑयल, घी आप जिसे कहते हैं, मैं तो घी ही यूज़ करती हूँ। इट्स ऑलवेज़ गुड बिकॉज हम बच्चों को भी खिला रहे होते हैं, तो थोड़ा सा इसके बाद अगेन द सेम प्रोसीजर दैट आई एम गोइंग टू डू, दैट इज़ इसके अंदर थोड़ा सा राई डालूंगी और वो स्प्लैटर होगा, और थोड़ा सा मैं इसमें डालूंगी कड़ी पत्ता। सो आई एम गोइंग टू पुट सम राई एंड कड़ी पत्ता एंड वेट फॉर इट टू स्प्लैटर। सो हियर गोज द राई, और ये क्योंकि फ्लैट है तो थोड़ा सा दाएं बाएं उड़ेगी ये स्प्लैटर होने के टाइम पे, सो यू नीड टू बी रियली केयरफुल। और अब ये गया हमारा कड़ी पत्ता। सो इसको मैं थोड़ा सा फैला के और इस तरीके से उसके ऑयल में सेट कर दूंगी, सो दैट कहीं प्रॉब्लम ना आए। और दूसरा क्या है कि इसके ऊपर अब मैं बैटर, जो मेरा बैटर मैंने बनाया हुआ रखा है, तो वो मैं इसमें डाल दूंगी। आई एम गोइंग टू पुट 2 or 3 ladles ऑफ बैटर इनटू दिस सो दैट इट गेट्स कुक्ड। ये देखिए, ये वाला जो हमारा बैटर हमारा तैयार रखा हुआ था, ये मैंने इसमें तवे में भी इसमें भी कुक करने के लिए डाल दिया है। सो अभी दिस काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग आई एम डूइंग, और इसको कुक करने के लिए थोड़ा सा टाइम लगेगा, और आपको जब तक ये टाइम लगे बिल्कुल सिम पे रखना है, क्योंकि ये टाइम लगेगा इसमें, तो ये सिम पे ही पकेगा। और सिम पे आप इसको धीरे धीरे पकाएंगे। यू प्लीज़ डू नॉट बी इन अ हरी। ये जो साइड में जो स्प्लैटर हुआ है उसको आप पूरा अंदर तक के लेके जाइए, और कंप्लीट थोड़ा सा साइड से अंदर कर दीजिए, सो दैट वो सब इसमें चिपक जाए जो हमारा ये पैनकेक बन रहा है इसमें। और दिस इज़ अ ब्यूटिफुल, मतलब कहते हैं ना कि बहुत अच्छा नाश्ता है मॉर्निंग के लिए, झटपट तैयार भी हो जाता है, और बच्चों को बहुत पसंद आएगा, इवन फॉर द एडल्ट्स, आई मीन फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस ऑल्सो, इट्स वेरी हेल्दी। एंड नाउ सी, दिस इज़ रियली रियली कमिंग अप नाइसली, एंड आई एम गोइंग टू ट्राई इट आउट कि ये खुल रहा है कि नहीं। नीचे से आराम से इसको उठाने के टाइम पे यू हैव टू बी वेरी केयरफुल व्हाइल लिफ्टिंग इट अप, स्पैचुला से। और ये देखो, मैं धीरे धीरे इसको चेक कर रही हूँ कि क्या ये निकल रहा है कि नहीं, एंड आई थिंक आई विल बी एबल टू लिफ्ट इट एंड टर्न इट अराउंड। सो ये जो है यहाँ पे थोड़ा ट्रिकी होता है, और मैंने इसको टर्न कर दिया, और ये देखिए बहुत सुंदर सा गोल्डन सा इसका कलर आ गया है ऊपर। और ये जो इस किस्म का जो कलर आता है ऊपर, तो ये हमें चाहिए, इस किस्म का ही हमें कलर चाहिए, और बहुत अच्छा बन जाता है ये। और आपका जो आप बनाएंगे जब इसको, तो आप मतलब एक वो अरोमा सी इतनी अच्छी आती है दैट यू रियली फील hungry also after the so this is again I have turned and see it's come out so beautifully, very nicely it has come out, and this you can take it out, and now I'm going to do it in the for the rest of my batter। ये बाकी का जो थर्ड पोर्शन है वो हमारा इसमें अब बन रहा है। और द सेम प्रोसीजर अगेन, जितने बार आप ये बनाएंगे पैनकेक, उतने बार आप इसमें राई डालेंगे और कड़ी पत्ता डालेंगे। और ये मेरा चला गया, लास्ट वाला जो लॉट था वो भी चला गया इसके अंदर। और अगेन आई विल लीव इट for the batter to cook properly. Meanwhile, ये देखिए, ये हमारा प्लेटिंग कर दिए हमने, और ये आप इसको पिज़्ज़ा के जैसे कट कर सकते हैं बच्चों के साथ आप आराम से. इट बिकम्स सो टेस्टी, सो हेल्दी एंड टेस्टी एंड यम्मीलिशियस. You can have it with the sauce or chutney, green chutney, whichever you feel like. और ये आप खाइए, खिलाइए and enjoy the taste. And remember me then, yes. फिर आप शिवानी के हाथ का ये सेमोलिना पैनकेक वेजिटेबल वाला ज़रूर याद करेंगे. और ये देखिए, ये मैंने दिखाया है, ये बच्चों को बहुत अच्छा लगता है. So enjoy and happy feasting. So enjoy this yummylicious snack. एंड ये आप कभी भी आप खा सकते हैं, चाहे तो शाम को, चाहे तो सुबह. सो एंजॉय मेकिंग एंड एंजॉय ईटिंग. एंड
ये अधूरा रहेगा.
अब करो उसको. So I have just finished showing all this. Hello.
Thank you so much, Shivani ji.
Welcome, welcome.
Enjoyed your making of the semolina vegetable pancakes. खाने की कोई गुंजाइश नहीं थी because we were not making it while watching. Anyway, it seems to be a very delicious food option, snack option, whether it is for breakfast or evening. Thank you so very much.
Welcome, welcome.
Right.
And
Hanji.
I also happen to have my own channel, YouTube channel, known as Shivani Zingomania. So, so that is my YouTube channel. So definitely do visit that channel also. So I keep posting things like this on my channel, YouTube channel.
Right, right.
Okay, so that is. Thank you so much.
Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Yes. I will next take you through our memories and milestones video, and after that we would go on to the question answer round for those of us who are still around. So here we go. Rajiva, you will have to either let me have the controls or have Colonel VD Singh play the memories video. Rajiva, are you there? Thank you. Share sound. Here we go. Right. We can take question and answers at this point of time. Anybody with questions at this point of time? Am I audible?
Yeah, absolutely.
Rajiva, are you there?
Okay, we can go on to the next one.
Right. We can move over to the vote of thanks, but is Vanashree, is she there? When is she expected to?
She is not audible. Am I audible?
Yes, finally you are.
I don't know what's the problem. So if I can I just have one question addressed to Shivani Bhabiji? If she is around.
This is just for
Yeah, I'm around. Yes.
Bhabiji, I'm just curious to know. I am also a very experimental and indulging cook.
Okay.
तो मुझे ये प्रिपरेशन में खाली दो चीज का I'm very curious to understand the usage of curd.
Okay. It's
and
for
the use
fermenting.
of curry
Okay.
and usage of curry patta.
So okay, so that you want to know कि why have I used curry patta and curd, है ना?
हाँ, मतलब
Okay.
वो curry patta मतलब it will give us South Indian flavor or something like that.
करी पत्ता actually basically जो राई and करी पत्ता का जो flavor आता है, it gives a little South Indian taste, and I like when I make जैसे हम उपमा वगैरह भी बनाते हैं तो we put राई and करी पत्ता, तो that is how इसका जो taste enhancers होते हैं, and especially the करी पत्ता. So that's how I have used करी पत्ता. And as far as curd is concerned, तो we need it to ferment as soon as possible. वो हल्की सी खटास भी आ जाती है जब हम कर्ड यूज करते हैं, तो that's why the curd, and उससे वो बहुत अच्छा सा उसका fluffiness भी आ जाती है कर्ड से.
अच्छा, on the contrary, I was hearing yeah, my first question is answered very well, that you want deliberately to bring in that flavor of South Indian tang. Okay, great. But second one, I was worried. The moment I saw curd, I said, "Gaya, आज तो लगता भाभी जी से नहीं बन पाएगा."
नहीं.
ये तो दही का रायता बन जाएगा आज तो लगता है.
It started with the raita, and then it ended up becoming a good pancake ultimately. So
I think that was a very interesting twist. These are the two things that I learned. Okay. Shivani Das, because you are also a very good cook, तुम कुछ भाभी जी से question चाहोगी पूछना? Shivani Das, if you are available.
Rajiva, there's something I wanted to add. If Shivani is available, let her go.
Why? Yeah, she is available. हाँ शिवानी, तुम भाभी जी से कुछ पूछो. मेरा
नहीं
तो हो
भाभी
गया.
जी नहीं, हाँ एक्चुअली भाभी जी जिस वे में करती हैं जो पैनकेक्स बनाई हैं, एक्चुअली मैंने भी सेम टू सेम ऐसा ही मैंने बनाया है, और इट्स टर्न आउट रियली वेरी नाइस। और हाँ, तो इसलिए मुझे पूछना तो कुछ नहीं है, लेकिन हाँ कभी कभी अगर वैसा कुछ मुझे दिख जाए तो मैं जरूर पूछूंगी। तो इसमें मुझे पूछने की मतलब मुझे नहीं लगता मुझे पूछना कुछ है यहाँ पे।
अच्छा ठीक है,
वेरी
वो
नाइस
तो
बट
नहीं
यमी
नहीं वो
कुकिंग।
थैंक यू।
नहीं
वेरी यमी।
ये तो it is understandable that both of you carry the same name, so it's but by default you people are mutual
same
admiration club.
So love for food is similar.
Food, हाँ, yes.
तो म्यूचुअल एडमिरेशन क्लब तो होना ही है। भाभी जी, मेरे को ये एक और क्वेश्चन आप बताइए। आई डोंट नो इफ आई कैन रिकॉल, डिड यू पुट हरी मिर्च एनीवेयर?
Yes, I did. Along with the हरा धनिया, I had mentioned also कि मैंने इसके अंदर हरा धनिया के साथ हरी मिर्ची भी ऐड किया हुआ है। So depends on आप हरी मिर्ची खाते हैं या लाल मिर्च खाते हैं, accordingly you can add on. It gives a nice वो हल्का सा थोड़ा सा मिर्च पड़ा हुआ टेस्ट एनहांस हो जाता है उससे भी।
एग्जैक्टली।
और आप जो पूछ रहे हैं करी पत्ता के लिए, करी पत्ता तो ऐसे ही देखिए, दही और ये जब इसका मतलब रावा का चीज कुछ भी बने तो उसमें करी पत्ता और सरसों तो डलता ही डलता है ना।
यस बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
तो मोहना, you wanted a question, yeah?
Not a question really, an interjection actually. वही मुझे कहना था कि the long way of going about things is चावल दाल भिजा करके you kind of let it ferment overnight and then kind of puree it. But the short to it is using suji, using dahi to ferment it, and that can happen in about half an hour's time. I mean, I'm not
exactly.
So uttapam is made like that. You can have rava idlis like that. आप दोस्त भी बना सकते हैं. It's the quick fix way of going about things.
Correct.
Thank you, Shivani, for giving a great option. We run out of ideas कि क्या करे, क्या बनाए, क्या खिलाए, and even if
and सूजी के पकोड़े भी आप बना सकते हो। इसके पकोड़े भी बनते हैं, जैसे इसी चीज को आप अगर पकोड़े के से बनाओ और आप हाँ, ये बैटर को आप किसी भी तरह से यूज कर सकते हो।
करेक्ट।
अच्छा, राजीव, अनदर थिंग, आपने पूछा राई और कड़ी पत्ता के लिए, तो आप साउथ इंडियन टैंग लेना चाहते हो तो यूज दैट. इफ यू डोंट वांट टू हैव द साउथ इंडियन टैंग, डोंट यूज,
then don't use. Correct.
नहीं, Rai, I was just curious to know, maybe because the word pancake was more sounding European, तो मुझे लगा यहाँ पे करी पत्ता क्या कर रहा है?
मैंने उसका नामकरण कर दिया।
क्योंकि थोड़ी बहुत चेंजेस तो करनी पड़ती है ना, तो उन्होंने अपने तरीके से कुछ डाला। आप अपने तरीके से कुछ डाल सकते हो, इसमें कोई बात नहीं है। आप करी पत्ते की जगह पे आप धनिया के पत्ते डाल दो।
भाभी जी, if you suggest, I mean, if we have interested people rather, so occasionally, not make it very frequently, but occasionally can we just meet together and share some newly experimented recipe, something like that?
हाँ, अभी शेयर करा हम लोगों ने।
अभी नहीं, मतलब generally I am just suggesting कि अगर वैसा हम इवॉल्व कर पाते हैं, जब एक सर्टेन ओकेजन में, महीने में एक बार हो, 1.5 महीने में एक बार हो, कभी भी जब हम कुछ नई रेसिपी आइडेंटिफाई किए, नई रेसिपी ट्राई आउट,
डेफिनेटली वन कैन बी दैट कैन बी शेयर डेफिनेटली। सो कभी भी अगर कोई न्यू रेसिपी कोई ट्राई करे तो वन मस्ट शेयर। तो ये तो आई ट्राइड दिस एंड आई सेड ये मैं बनाती हूँ, बट कभी आगे करूंगी तो बट डेफिनेटली आई लेट यू नो।
आपको पता है ना कि राजीव भैया भी बहुत अच्छा मतलब बनाते हैं, अपना एक्सपेरिमेंट करते रहते हैं। रिसेंटली उन्होंने लेफ्ट ओवर चावल का कुछ एक रेसिपी बनाया था जो मेरे साथ शेयर किया था। तो आप पता नहीं अभी बोल पाएंगे कि नहीं, अगर बोल पाए तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, बड़ी अच्छी तरीके से बनाया था। लेकिन
भाभी जी
ये
मेरे को एक चीज खाली आप सिखाइए। ठीक है, आई एंड अप मेकिंग समहाउ ईटेबल्स, मतलब खा ले सकते हैं, आदमी खाने के बाद मरेगा नहीं, लेकिन उसको वापस अगर आप मेरे को बोलोगे वापस रिपीट करो वो रेसिपी, तो वो मैं कभी याद नहीं कर पाता।
वो नहीं कर पाते हैं।
एक्चुअली सब अंदाज वाले में अंदाज के हिसाब से बनाते हैं, सो मे बी दैट इज व्हाई देयर इज नो प्रॉपर मेजरमेंट और समथिंग। एंड इंडियन कुकिंग में तो इन एनी केस बहुत ज्यादा प्रॉपर मेजरमेंट के साथ नहीं हो पाता है। सो आई थिंक ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम वी ऑल लर्न इट।
Yeah, I think it. So I think we can move to the closure.
True,
Mona.
absolutely.
Yeah, Mona, you can just play, request Colonel VD Singh to play, or if you want to try it out, we can play the anthem, and then the closure can be announced.
If Colonel VD Singh is ready with the anthem, we could go ahead and play it immediately. Yes, I would play it.
Okay.
Colonel
Singh, actually, you have to allow the sharing.
Hanji. Rajiv, are you doing that?
Yeah, one second. Yes, done.
Music on हो रहा है?
हम सदस्य जीनत है, जीना परिवार हमारा।
नहीं, फिर से। क्या हो गया? ये म्यूट कर दो पहले तुम्हें।
Are you having challenges?
Yeah, 1 second. Are you able to listen? पता नहीं सुन पा रहे हैं कोई कि नहीं?
Not as yet. आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
और खुशी फैलाना।
Can you hear or no?
Finally, yes.
अच्छा, finally yes, you said. Okay, this time again.
I'm afraid we are not getting the audio. I don't think it's only me. We're not getting the audio.
Uh,
Not audible?
not audible or what?
No, not audible. Your voice is audible though.
The XENA, this thing, anthem is not audible?
No.
Hold on, again. कर रहे हैं.
I can hear it in the background that it's playing. We can't hear it over our computer.
Can you hear now?
Can you hear now?
No.
No, there's some problem. There's some problem, I think. बंद करो, ये सारी विंडोज ये भी बंद करो, इसको भी बंद करो, PDF वाला.
Rajiva, would you share the controls with me? I'll go ahead and play it.
हाँ, I think that will be better. Stop share कर दो. मेरा म्यूट कर दो, माइक म्यूट कर दो मेरा.
Rajiva, I don't have the controls as yet. Thank you.
सदस्य जीनत है जीना परिवार हमारा चारों ओर खुशी फैलाने का है अपना नारा हम सदस्य जीनत है जीना परिवार हमारा चारों ओर खुशी फैलाने का है अपना नारा गरीबी दुख हरने का हम संकल्प उठाएं धरती को कुटुंब करने के लिए प्रयास बढ़ाएं कष्ट गरीबी दुख हरने का हम संकल्प उठाएं धरती को कुटुंब करने के लिए प्रयास बढ़ाएं हम सदस्य जीना के है जीना परिवार हमारा चारों ओर खुशी फैलाने का है अपना नारा सबको रोजी रोटी हो और सबको हो खुशहाली हो निर्बाध विचार भावना सदा सीखने वाली सबको रोजी रोटी हो और सबको हो खुशहाली हो निर्बाध विचार भावना सदा सीखने वाली हम सदस्य जीनक है जीना परिवार हमारा, चारों ओर खुशी फैलाने का है अपना नारा। दया क्षमा नैतिकता हो और हो सम्मान सभी का, सबको यूं अपना माने के दिल ना दुखे किसी का। दया क्षमा नैतिकता हो और हो सम्मान सभी का, सबको यूं अपना माने के दिल ना दुखे किसी का। हम सदस्य जीनक है जीना परिवार हमारा, चारों ओर खुशी फैलाने का है अपना नारा। हम सदस्य जीनक है जीना परिवार हमारा, चारों ओर खुशी फैलाने का है अपना नारा।
With that, we come to the end of our event today. Do we have Vanashri ji to propose the vote of thanks?
No, I think you can do it. And in particular, you have to mention, Mohana, about Colonel Veer Singh. Despite every last moment request, I know what I have to face tomorrow, so I'm ready for it. But fact of the matter remains that I think he deserves all the claps for being present, and he filled in every single gaps that we were having, right from Bhabiji's video playing arrangement, PPT playing arrangement, whatever be the reason you had to go out at a particular time when there was her presentation, but he stepped in. So all possible time he was there. So I think he is the most deserving person in true sense for vote of thanks. Not to mention about Bhabiji, not to mention people who are not available on the screen just now. And hats off to Shibani Das and Deepika Bagchi, because people who have been watching very closely, and Shibani Bhaviji will confirm to this, that there is an award in school which is given to the student who gets 100% attendance award. So even in Zana family, likewise, I think if somebody deserves to get 100% attendance award, it will go to Shibani Das and Deepika Bagchi. So with only this much of input, Mona, you can, yes, with your kind words, you can give your vote of thanks appropriately.
Right. Thank you so much for, mentioning all of that might get missed out. So I start with thanking Colonel Saab very much for his time from early afternoon. Rather, Shivaniji would agree he's been at it since morning, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I hope all the screenshots also have been taken away in this meeting.
Right. So as far as Colonel Saab, can we have you on screen for half a minute?
And then screenshot.
Yeah, I'll come here.
Thank you so much.
From my studio.
Screenshot. Right.
Why don't you click a screenshot as has been invoked? I'm surprised nobody has spoken a single word about taking a screenshot of the session, not even Rajiv.
I think today was too random, too many things happening out of schedule. Okay. Shivani and Deepika, would you please go on to the video mode if that's not too inconvenient? Rajiva, yourself as well. Okay. Shivani Das ji and Deepika, can we have you on video, please? Can we have you unmuted to begin with?
I said there are people who are video conscious and there are people like us who are video possessive. We always would want to get a chance and show our face. So don't worry. They must be having mental hiccups. Good enough. I think you've got a phenomenal couple with all smiles available. You are there. And when two crazy brothers are there on the screen, don't worry. We can take on the world.
True that. Anyway, let's go ahead and let me take a still at this point
Yeah,
of
just
time.
take a screenshot.
Yes. Just wait. Just give me another minute. I would take another one. Okay. Yes, thank you so much. Until our next event, let us say goodbye.